I'm Grace. So let's get started. I'm a recipe blogger, family-taught home chef. Cheers.
Cheers.
iPhone-only photographer and proud New Englander. Sun-dried tomato blush cream sauce spiked with a splash of champagne vinegar. There's a good reason why it's told that this chicken has the power to make you say, I do. Tonight, I'm going to propose to my beloved Eric. Aww. JK. It's too late! He's stuck with me. Not only does Marry Me Chicken have the power to make someone swoon, it's also really easy to make. Just make sure to prep your ingredients ahead of time, so chop things like shallots and garlic before you head over to the stove. Let's go to the stove. One of the key ingredients in Marry Me Chicken is sun-dried tomatoes. And so you're gonna wanna use sun-dried tomatoes in oil. And so one of my favorite things to do is to use the oil in the jar of your sun-dried tomatoes to cook your chicken, and therefore your chicken is flavored with that delicious oil. So I'm gonna add the oil to the pan and then turn my heat to medium and let this preheat until it's nice and screaming hot. I have some beautiful chicken breasts here. My oil is hot, and so I'm going to add my chicken to my skillet, and you just want to try to keep them as far apart as possible. How long will it take to cook, you may ask? Well, it really depends on the size of your chicken breasts, but if they're medium breasts, I'll show you about how long they'll take to cook on both sides. It's been about 10 minutes on side one. We're gonna flip these guys over to side number 2 and cook them until the internal temp reaches at least 165 degrees. Voila! It registers 171, so that's perfect. And you're just gonna take your chicken out and put it in a little foil package, just like this, and we're gonna pop it in the oven just at a very warm, low temperature to keep our chicken warm. Like this, cover, in the oven. We're gonna keep our heat over medium, and we're going to make our beautiful Marry Me Chicken sauce. Ooh. So it starts off with some garlic, just some minced garlic, and I have some beautiful shallots that are nice and pink, going with the Marry Me theme. And then I have a generous splash of champagne vinegar, which is kind of like a white wine vinegar, but it's a lot more complex. It has a lot more flavor to it. If you can't find champagne vinegar, you can just use regular white wine vinegar. And we're gonna give it a nice saute for just a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, just to sweat out the rawness. Next up is a little bit of grainy mustard. In a lot of Marry Me chickens, there's no mustard or vinegar, but I think it just adds such a nice contrast to your heavy cream, which is a staple in Marry Me chicken. So we're gonna add in heavy cream. Oh, beautiful cream sauce coming together. And we're just gonna mix this together and let it heat until it just simmers. Next up is the real staple, which is sun-dried tomatoes. We added the sun-dried tomato oil in before to cook our chicken, and now it's time to actually add the sun-dried tomatoes. And I have some tomato paste, and the tomato paste is going to give our cream sauce this beautiful blush color. And a staple in anything Italian or Italian-American, we have some fresh oregano. I'm just gonna pinch off some leaves and add them right in. Salt. Pepper. I feel like I'm gonna fly away with these leaves. And mix it all together. We're gonna let this simmer for just 3 to 4 minutes just to let all the flavors come together. Oh, I do. The final step before assembly is to add a nice generous handful of fresh spinach. And of course, everything's better with a little bit of Parmigiano. Mix it all together until the spinach just wilts. Turn the heat off and you're ready to go. And then it's time to assemble the best part. Take your chicken, put your chicken right in the sauce, and then spoon that sauce right over the chicken. Oh my. This really is Marry Me chicken. And the tanginess in the cream sauce is everything. I'm gonna eat all of this by myself. Check it out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it. Do you think champagne vinegar has any residual champagne?